Knit Mania. This is episode 15 and my name is Gretchen. And if you are watching, thank you so much for watching. I do kind of want to apologize. I was planning on doing a video every week and I was faithful for about 10 weeks and then life happened and my arm getting broken happened, and I've definitely, spaced them way farther apart than I had originally planned. So I apologize for saying I was going to do one thing and then doing another. I have actually been thinking about, do I want to continue the podcast? Because it just seems like there is such a glut, in a wonderful way, of people podcasting, knitters podcasting, and really trying to think of like, what is the purpose of this? What value does it give to you as a watcher, and then to me as a podcaster? And I am going to continue, but not on a weekly basis. And part of it is to hopefully bring some enjoyment to you as you watch, and maybe give you some ideas about projects or yarn. And then for me, it helps with accountability, and I think that maybe some of my family likes watching what's going on in my life too. So having said that, the format will probably change a little bit. Probably be just a little bit more freeform, a little bit more lifestyle driven versus just knitting. And so I don't even have show notes or anything this time. It's been so long and I've been so busy that it just felt overwhelming. So I'm just going to show a few things, and then we'll go from there. So one thing that I wanted to show is my light hipster shawl. It does have fringe now. I'm not thrilled with the fringe. Not only am I not thrilled with the fringe as far as it being fringe, this is a Joji Locatelli pattern, and I actually love this this pattern, and I'm definitely going to redo this pattern because I don't know why. Oh, there's a little snag there, but I can fix that. I don't know why I did it in this colorway, to be honest. Browns are not really my jam, not my passion, and I guess I did it because I had this skein and it felt like it would be smart, like it would go with a lot of things, which is probably true, but I don't know. It's not my favorite colorway, but I do love the pattern, and so I want to redo it again in a colorway that will give me a little bit more joy. And then I realized I'd never done fringe before. I did the fringe according to what she said, like do a 16-inch length of yarn and then double it like 4 times. I think that the fringe are a little sparse and a little short. I think I would do it longer next time. I haven't trimmed them. I don't think I'm going to. But then I realized that I put it on the wrong side, I think. Yeah. Because this is gonna go towards the back. So the way I have the fringe, it goes like this, which is kind of funky, I'm not gonna lie. But it is the way it's gonna be. I'm not redoing the fringe. I'm not redoing anything. It's still cute. I'll still wear it. And I have to learn how to style shawls more, especially this short one. But it's cute, and I'll wear it. And I'm actually looking forward to doing it again. So I'm showing this because I'm going to adopt Gigi of Knitmore Girls. That's an audio podcast that I like to listen to in the car. But she says, when something is finished. So, because when you're knitting and you finish your knitting, you're like, yay, I'm finished. But really, you have to block it, and then maybe you have to add an element or something to it. So this is now blocked. It's tasseled in a silly way, and it's finished. So thank you, Gigi, for that cute terminology that I think will be a part of my life, because I know a lot of knitters finish the knitting and then it's like, oh, they don't want to do the blocking and the finishing. But that is my one finished object. I have a gajillion works in progress. That's an actual number, in case you were wondering. But the thing that I'm working on right now, the most by far, is shawlography. If you're doing shawlography and you haven't finished clue 1, turn this off, look away, do whatever, but don't look if you want to be surprised. But most people are way farther ahead than I am anyway. I knew I wouldn't be able to keep up unless I ignored my family and ignored my husband and ignored my job. And I'm gonna be honest, I wanted to do all those things. And I was on vacation last week and I did do some ignoring of my husband. You know, it's the whole, shut up, I'm counting. Like, I didn't say that, but I sure did think it. Maybe even not that nicely. But I finally got to the point where I'm like, I need to not be obsessing about this to the point that I'm not enjoying life and my family and my husband, especially because we were on vacation. We were up in Big Bear. We had a beautiful cabin. We had like both of our sons with both of their girlfriends came up for a night or two, and then his mom Helen and her husband Frank came up for a night. So it was really nice. It also happened to be my birthday. I turned 55, woo woo, and so it was fun. But so this is what I've been working on for the past week and 2 days, and I have to say I really like thought about the colors a lot, and I'm happy with them. I really just didn't know if I was going to be. So you can't see it really well. He probably blew pretty. Whoops, missed the purple. And then this one was a gold. I did change this from the last time I talked about my colors. So I had a gold that I had picked, and I kept that gold. But then, you know, he's always talking about, if you want to do a pop of color, if you want to be a little crazy. And I decided, yeah, I do. So this is the gold that I'd picked, which I still think is a very nice color, but why not make it even nicer and add some mohair to it? Now you might go, wait, you've already done some of this. Why do you have an unopened skein of mohair? Well, let me tell you why. Because in the middle of the night, 2 nights ago, my bad mama cat Blair and kitty cat Loki snuck into my shawlography bag while I was sleeping, dug out the mohair, which was not on top, mind you, and destroyed it. If you follow me on Instagram, you will see what they did to this poor mohair. They took it out of my room, down the hallway, into my son's room. I mean, it was just spread everywhere. It was not recoverable. I took it to my local yarn store to see if I could felt it or if there was anything that I could do. Turns out mohair doesn't felt, and so the answer was no. I left it there. I was like, you know, if there's anybody that really wants mohair and they can't afford to buy a skein of mohair and they want to untangle it, they're welcome to it. But yeah, I am not going to do it. So that was that. So let me see if I can show you. Here is the gold mixed with the mohair. I think it's really pretty. I'm excited to get more into the shawl and be able to use that where it just shines. And then I'm still on the fence about this. This is like the black that has little pops of the teal blue. And so I might switch that out. So so I went to get the replacement mohair, and it's always very dangerous for me to go into my local yarn store because I kind of know everybody and I love everybody and I know the yarn and I love their yarn. So this is the dark one that I'm using, which is gorgeous. It's by Alexandra and I love her yarn. Her yarn is luscious. And this is called Dark Side of the Moon, which I believe is, I'm almost positive it's a store exclusive to Hands On Knitting, which is my local yarn store. But this is Dark Side of the Moon Psychedelic, and it doesn't show up. I don't think I'm going to be able to get a true color on it, but it's like a gray with a blue cast, and then it has more of a like a rainbow pop of color, as opposed to really just the teal with a little bit of gray and white. So I do like this one better. And so I'm thinking this has, I think it's 9 wedges. Oh, I'm doing it the wrong side. On the wrong side, you can almost see the colors better. So it has 9 wedges. So I think I've done 7. I have 2 more wedges to go. And so I think I'm on the one that is the dark. And so I think I'm going to do that, the dark. But then when we switch to, you know, not being the wedge, I think I'm going to switch to this. Let me know what you think, or if I should just like stick with what I've got. I don't know. It's easy to second guess yourself, right? So I'm working on 2 pairs of socks that I'm not even going to show right now. I'm wearing, because they're downstairs. I'm working on more than that, but I have the socks that I'm almost done with, the first one, which is the Mandy's Makings summer sock camp set. So that's really old. Like I've had the yarn and meant to do it, cast it on in like June or July. But my daughter and I are doing those together, so that's fun. And then I'm doing a shorties pair of like spooky socks for the knit along. And so I might show those next time if they're finished. So that is really all I wanted to show as far as knitting. I did want to show some of the things that I've got, as since it's been almost a month, I'm sure you know, if you watch me, that I've received quite a few things. And so let's see, let's just start going through it. This is from A Girl and Her Wool, and I get a monthly subscription of that. So it's 70 grams and then 20 grams. And she doesn't name her wool for the sock, like monthly one. So this is just October's sock set, but it's really pretty. She does really nice work. I have kept her subscription. So, you know, I've like had several subscriptions over the past year, and, you know, I go back and forth as far as which ones I keep and stuff. And I've definitely just stayed happy with hers. So let's see. This is one that, I belong to a knitting club that I've mentioned before. It's by Knitty Natty, Natalie, and it's called Love and Stitches. And we do swaps fairly often, like maybe once every other month. But we had a swapping saga. Erin is who I swapped with, and so we did our swap, and it was supposed to be just like a simple swap, like a skein of yarn. And she sent mine, and I loved it. I'm pretty sure I showed it. And then she didn't get hers. So she contacted me and said that she didn't get mine, and unfortunately I hadn't kept my tracking. So that taught me a lesson. And so I said, okay, I will send you a new package. And I felt so bad that she hadn't gotten hers that I broke the rules. Like it said, don't send extras. But I was like, whatever. She didn't get hers on time. So I just sent her, you know, just some stitch markers. And yeah, I think a 20 gram skein. I don't even know what I sent her. I don't remember. So then she contacted me, and she literally got both of my packages on the same day. So then she felt bad. So then she sent me another package. So we both got 2 packages. We both totally broke the rules. And she's fabulous and sent me so much stuff. And I love all of it. So look at these 2. Look at how beautiful they are. So this one is from Nice and Knit Sock. I think this might be like a local yarn store for her. It's 80% merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. Oh, it is so squishy and beautiful, and I love it. And then this one is by Fangirl Hand, and it's If It's Not Scottish, I can't read it, and it's inspired by Mike Myers. So, but they're beautiful together and or apart. And then, okay, so she sent me that, but that's not all. She sent me this little tin, and I love these tins because things tend to get, okay, I can't even open it right now. There we go. And look at these. Okay, I'm in love. And then I also, whenever I'm in love with something, then I'm like, how do they make that? I want to make that. So this is like an origami stitch marker, origami stitch markers. And oh my gosh, how cute are they? I am in love with them. So then there's like a little bead on the bottom because it goes all the way through. And even though they're origami and they're paper, like they're sturdy. Like you can squish them and they're not like gonna go apart. So she gave me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And they're just something that I hadn't seen before either. So I love that. Okay, they wanted to go back in the tin. But how wonderful is that? It felt like Christmas. And then, like, that's not all. She sent me this. Okay, and super, super cool. It's a sock blank. And I've seen them before, and I've seen people use them before. And I absolutely, absolutely love this colorway. It's called Heard It on the Grapevine. How appropriate. And it is 463 yards. Looks like 100 grams. 75% superwash merino. 25% nylon. It's fingering weight. And I have no idea how to do it. But I will learn. She's given me a challenge, and I love a challenge. So thank you very, very much, Erin, also known as Jeep Knitter on Instagram. I appreciate you. And okay, so let's see. The next thing I got is a biggie. I was planning on like doing Vlogtober, but it's just so busy. I might try to do a couple of vlogs because I would love to do Vlogmas. And I have so many advents that I've ordered, mostly yarn, but not just yarn. And I'd love to be able to share them so that people can see the beautiful yarn and maybe plan for next year or whatever. So because of that, and because October is my birthday month, because I love Halloween, I bought 2, not 1, but 2 October advents. I ended up giving one to my daughter, and this is the big love. I'm telling you, I would only have done it for her, and she had a tragedy. She, her Yorkie passed, and she got him when she was 15. Like, truly, he was her first love. And so, sorry. So it was really hard. Obviously, I loved him too. He lived with us for many years, even just with us a couple of years when she was going to college, and couldn't keep him because it just wouldn't have been a good situation for him. Anyway, so I gave her the one that I had been excited about for a long time, which is Legacy Fiber Arts, because I have to say, Sue and Chelsea are my favorite. I guess Sue's the dyer, but they're the company and I love them so much. And so she's coming up today and she's bringing the yarn because she just opened it all. She didn't use it as an advent. She just used it as a present, which is fine. Like however you want to do it, you should do it, right? But I can't wait to see hers. And then we can maybe figure out what to do with our October Advents. But I impulse bought. I was only planning on having the one, October one. But I guess God knew that Savannah was going to need one. And so Trilogy Yarn posted up on Instagram that they only had one left. And I don't even know why I did it, but I just and I bought it. And this was a couple weeks before I ended up giving my Legacy Fiber Arts to Savannah. And I was looking at Trilogy, and I will put her name up. I don't remember her name offhand. But on her Instagram, then it said that she is a widow and that she is raising her grandchildren. And so I was like, wow, I'm so glad I did that. I love supporting small indie dyers anyway, but somebody that is making their living and supporting their grandchildren, like, yeah, for sure, wanting to support that. So having said that, it was a 15-day Advent, and I didn't do my days right, whatever. I just started opening. So I opened day 14, which was this one. Look at how vibrant green that is. Green's not usually my color, but with yarn, I'm just realizing if it's well dyed, if it's a beautiful, vibrant color, I'm loving it, even if it's not like what I would normally do. So it's really getting me outside my box, which I love. And then number 13. 13 is my lucky number. It is my birthday. It is my husband's birthday. And so we've just kind of adopted the 13th as our happy number. So this is the 13th. And I will be putting down, or after I've quit videoing, I'm going to add some videos, some lifestyle videos. So you can turn that off if you want, or watch if you have an interest. But I did turn 55. I did get a Lexus ES350 F Sport. It took me forever to even be able to remember what it was, but it's really fun, and I took a little bit of video of that. So this is day 12, and it's called Blood on the Moon. Oh, I didn't say the names of the other ones. Let's see. 14 was, come on, ladies, let's clean house. Never. I never say that. 13 was, pick a broom, join a circle. Okay. And so 11 is Blood on the Moon. So I have to say, like, I'm a born-again Christian, and so a lot of people in my community hate Halloween, and people can be confused because I love Halloween. But I firmly believe that you can love the fun of Halloween and the decorating of Halloween, and, you know, just some of the fun aspects, you know, and not be like, oh, I'm not worshiping, or not the dark stuff. I like suspense movies. I'm not into gore or anything like that, but just because it's not what I enjoy. But I do love a good suspense. Sorry for the tissue crinkling. I know that drives some people crazy. Here we go. Pretty. So let's see, the three of them together. Oh, look. That's going to be nice. I don't know what it's going to be yet. If you have any ideas, I would love to hear them. So it came with 14 little skeins. One big skein that I am dying to open. Oh, yeah, the theme was practical magic, which makes sense about the Let's Clean House girls. And then it came with a bag. And I really like the bag. The inside is just white. But I am really loving the drawstring. At the beginning, when I first started knitting, I was all about zippers. And I was like, I don't like drawstrings. I don't know why. but I'm very opinionated that way until I change my mind. Just ask my family. But now I'm really loving, and it's got the flat bottom. And so I'll be putting these back in here. And then I've got all those. And then, you know, one of the really fun things about the Advent, she gave me some Skittles. And then there's this whole little bag, and I haven't opened it. Oh, let's open it now. Why not? Goodies, goodies. I love goodies. I'm like a little kid that way. Okay, so we have Warheads Extra Sour. I love sour stuff. I will have to keep these in here because one of my sons, Tanner, would totally steal that. Like, he's just a sour fiend. And then here's a Tootsie Roll Blow Pop. Not my thing. So that's the great thing about having kids. I will give it to them and they'll act like, they'll feel like it's a present. And then some little ghost pumpkin candies. Oh, and then we've got some tea, which I had not been into tea ever really. And between knitting and I decided to quit drinking like wine at night for lots of different reasons. One of them is that like if I have more than one glass of wine, then in the morning, a lot of times when I look at my knitting, it'll be like knitting at night, frogging in the morning, knitting at night. So I got tired of that. So I've been having tea as a new habit at night, and so I am loving the caffeine-free tea. So this is Sunny Orange Ginger, which yum, love that. I will probably be trying that tonight. And this is Double Bergamot Earl Grey. So definitely not a night one. I will try that one today. So yay, loving the tea. And then here's a Eucalyptus, jasmine soak. Jasmine's one of my favorite scents in the world. And I was gonna say that's last but not least, more Candy Ghosts. Oh, those are so cute. This one is last but not least, is a stitch marker, which of course I love. And I don't even know what that is. Huh. Oh, I think it's something that maybe is not, it's probably something magical. Like that is an eye in the middle. It's not wanting to focus very well. I'm very excited. Speaking of not focusing, I have on order an iPhone 13 Plus Pro or whatever, and it is actually shipped already, because that's another reason why I haven't been podcasting as much, for sure. Like, this is a huge reason, is I love doing the actual podcasting, and I don't mind doing the editing. I do a really light edit anyway, as those of you that watch me probably know. But the whole saving and transferring has been really, really difficult. I have an 8 Plus, so that's fairly ancient right now. And I think it has 64 gig of memory, and it's pretty much full. So every time I do a podcast, I have to like delete things. I have to offload things for a while, then I have to, unload them back on. So it is a pain. So I'm not making promises, but I might get more consistent once I have better equipment. I would love to get a camera, but I can't really justify that just for podcasting. We'll see though. So the last thing that I want to share with you about knitting is some new yarn that I just got. It's by Shirley Bryan Yarn, and I've been stalking her for a while. And I might start talking about things that I'm stalking soon, because that's kind of fun. Again, some of the audio podcasts that I listen to Yarniacs and Knit More Girls, and they talk about that. And it has prompted me to go onto Ravelry and look at a couple of the things. So I think it's a good idea. So Shirley Bryan Yarn is out of Canada, and I love her logo. I think it's just so funny. It's a dinosaur knitting. And she has these, like, if you look at her on Instagram, I would recommend following her on Instagram. And she has these, like, really baggy socks. And her, like, I was just laughing out loud. Her, she calls them tube socks. And her instructions, you just have to listen to this. I mean, after I read this, I was like, oh, I wish I could know this person. So work a cuff in 2x2 rib for as long as you can stand it. The more rib, the less likely your socks are to fall down. Or roll that cuff and just cast on loosely and start knitting. Step 1. Step 2. After you rib or cast on, knit every round, every stitch, forevermore. 3. When it is time for a toe, split the stitches onto 2 needles evenly and work as, and then it has the actual, directions on how to do a toe. And so I just thought that was funny. But again, I highly recommend you go on Instagram and look at her socks, because seeing them this way, it doesn't quite give justice to what they look like when they're knit up. Okay, so I got 2, and she is one of those dyers that sells out quickly. So, like, you have to look for her updates or you're probably not going to get what you want. But, and they're called a deconstructed sock fade. And they are 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon. So I got one that is Christmassy, and it's called Holly Jolly Pajama Party. I don't know if I'm going to have time to make these because, again, they're gigantic. Like, each one of these is designed to be like a sock. And so, they're each 50 grams. I don't know why. They just look so big on Instagram. So let's see. Yeah, 460 yards. So 50 grams times 2, 230 yards each. And they're just called sock weight, but it's fingering. Maybe light fingering. Okay, so this is the Holly Jolly Pajama Party. And then the next one, they're so pretty. They're called Olive and Me. And my daughter's Labrador's name is Olive. So how could I not get these? How could I not knit these for her? I don't know if she watches this. I don't think she usually watches the whole thing. But if she does, Savannah, these are for you. They're named after your pup, Olive. Anyway, that is all I have in front of me. I definitely have bought more. I got my Yarnable, but there's so many podcasters that do like Yarnable unboxings even. So I'm not going to bother with that this time. One thing that I am reading is Sarah Moss. Let's see, her last name is Maas. Sorry, I'm going out of camera for a second. So it's considered young adult. And it's funny, COVID definitely did something for me, for right now at least, as far as reading. I've always been an avid reader. I still am an avid reader. But what I wanted to read has really changed. Why do I have some kind of weird shadow? Anyway, has really changed. And so I used to read, like a lot of literature. A lot of that tends to be pretty dark. I read a lot of dark stuff, I guess I would have to say. Or hard to read would be maybe more accurate, like real life things. And man, lockdown happened and I was like done with that. I'm like, I'm having enough trouble navigating life just myself. And so I kind of got into fantasy, which I haven't been to really since I was a kid. And when I was a kid, I was all about that, get me to a different world. How many cupboards did I go into to try to get into Narnia? I don't know. Everyone I could find. And believe me, I would have stayed in Narnia, but I digress. I haven't been in cupboards this past couple of years, but I have been delving into fantasy and really enjoying that. So this is a really popular series. It's A Throne of Glass. Oh, there we go. And this is I think there's 7 books in the series, and I think this is book 5 or 6. So don't start with this one because it definitely is something you would want to read chronologically. But oh my goodness, is it enjoyable, fast, fun, escapism reading. So it's funny because I've been vacillating between that and I just started a Bible study. So I'm in 1st, 2nd, and 3rd John. Very different reading, both good. So that is it for me for today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you are still with me, thank you so much. I hope you're having a fabulous October, and I hope to see you again soon. God bless. Bye-bye. So this is my new baby that I got for my birthday. It really wasn't planned. It's Alexis. And there are all these numbers. I think this is right. It's an ES350 F Sport. Whatever the numbers are, it's gorgeous. I love it. I don't know if you can see. It's a really pretty metallic blue. This is my number 1 choice. Black interior with all the bells and whistles. Wow. There is just no way that this mohair is making a comeback. So I guess I'm gonna let them play with it. That is an expensive cat toy. Look at them. Delilah thinks that she might wanna play too. Does that look like fun to you, yes. Delilah?